What is going on, guys? Eric from Bolts and Banter here with another product review video, and today we are in the garage because it is pretty late and we are diagnosing a oil leak that we have on the cheapy Civic, and it is the perfect time to be testing this Teslong or Teslong articulating borescope. The model number is TD450S, and we are going to do a quick little unboxing. I've never used this before, but we're going to unbox it really quick, make sure it powers on, and then we are going to go ahead and stick it in the engine bay of the Civic to see what we can find and if it can help us trace this oil leak. Without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this. So right away inside the box we get this nice little carrying case. It's a hard shell case, which is real nice, good for storing it in the garage, or if you have a shop, just keep it on the shelf like this so you can toss away the original packaging. And inside we have the borescope itself, which is already hooked up to the camera, a purple USB-A to USB-C wire, and cleaning wipes, some safety warnings, and a user manual. Nice, this is really cool. I like it when companies have feedback or the ability to give feedback right away. That's nice. And let's just double check, make sure that we kind of understand how everything works. If it's your first time using one of these, it's also my first time using one of these, just make sure that you read this just in case there's any precautionary measures that you have to take before powering it up. Let's go ahead and see if there's any battery out of the box. Cool, there is. And once we take this cap off, nice. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and give this a try on the cheapy Civic. All right, so it is a little dark outside, but we are going ahead with this test video anyway. I'm gonna have Dad over here help us out, hold the borescope, and then we'll go ahead and give it a test. So we can't seem to find the oil leak, but if we can get this borescope where we think it's leaking out, that'll go ahead and help us quite a lot. So this is really cool. We are able to see underneath the PCV valve. We're not sure if the grommet or the valve itself is leaking. So this camera is actually super helpful in determining that. And it also has a thermometer at the end of it. So it's 136 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a really cool readout there. And the trigger button in the back allows us to take a snapshot. So once there's an SD card inserted, you can take a snapshot and revisit this when you are not in front of the car. This camera is really helping us. We're trying to chase some splatter. You guys can see that on the screen. So now it's just a matter of using this camera to figure out where it's coming from. All right, so right off the bat, this camera has paid for itself. We finally traced the leak, and we spent the entire day before breaking out this camera to see where this leak was coming from. I went to the parts store to grab a PCV valve, and like you saw earlier in the video, we thought it was actually the grommet that was the problem. Turns out the grommet is fine. There's actually a leak between the cylinder head and the block, and it looks like our $12 Fel-Pro head gasket has failed. Either that or we haven't torqued something down. Whatever the case may be, we found the issue using this camera, and we would have saved hours earlier today had we just poke this camera around the engine bay trying to find that leak. Yeah, rev it. There it is. There's the oil leak. So this borescope has really been handy this past day or so trying to chase an oil leak on the cheapy Civic. So we're just going to go ahead and stick it down the oil drain. And all this weekend we were trying to chase the problem, and simply putting this camera in the oil drain, you can see that there's a little blockage over there where this oil drain is supposed to be round. There's some oil. Let's just wipe that off. So this oil drain is supposed to be round, and let's just move the camera around. You can see it's a circular drain, but there's that little there's that little piece over here that's actually part of the head gasket that has failed, and it is causing oil to spray out into the intake side of the engine. This camera has been super useful. Without this, we would have taken so much time trying to diagnose the problem on this and played a lot of guessing games, but this took the guesswork out of it. Highly recommend you purchase one of these. At the time of writing, it's only about $125 for this. So if you don't have one already, would totally consider getting one of these and adding it to your fleet of tools to help you diagnose and fix problems faster. So we've been using this really cool borescope that Teslong has sent us. It is the TD450S. It says it's not for medical use, just FYI, but this has been really helpful to help us diagnose the oil leak. Yesterday we used it and we found out that we couldn't really see that the oil was spraying from the back. And then earlier today we saw in the oil drain that the old head gasket had actually crumpled a bit and was causing the oil to leak on that intake side. So we're going to use it one more time. Like I said, this has been super helpful today. What we are going to do is put it down the bolt holes for the head bolts and make sure that the head gasket is aligned and that there's no blocks or any kind of head gasket misalignment. So let's go ahead and just do that. So this was the passage earlier today that had a block in it, and now you can see it is nice and clear. On the other side, also clear, nothing in the way. We're going to double check every single bolt hole to make sure that it is aligned. If you guys don't have one of these tools, highly recommend getting one of them. It has been a savior and has helped take out all the guesswork, or at least most of the guesswork, from our job today. Alright guys, before I end this video, I just wanted to go over some of the other features that we didn't cover outside. This is just the borescope booting up. Super quick boot, and you can see that is the camera over there with the light. We have the thermometer, which warns us if the probe is getting too hot, and there's also this SD card icon here. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this already comes with a 32GB SD card, and the battery is charged right out of the box, so you can use this right away to take photos, take videos, and if you press this button, it will bring you back to the media that was captured before. So here are some of the photos that we quickly snapped using that rear trigger button earlier today. On top of that, there's also a brightness feature here. So let's just get out of that. There's a brightness feature here, and there's also the settings here. So you can change the date stamp, the sound. The resolution is only that single 1920 by 1080 resolution. And let's go back. There's also all of these other menu settings here. Kind of hard to capture on the GoPro, but you can take a look right there. Just a quick look at the back. Again, this is the TD450S, and the memory card slot is right here on the side, hidden behind this nice rubber door. That way it doesn't pop out, fall out, or get damaged. This is also where you charge the unit itself. Alright guys, that does it for this review and practical test of the Teslong TD450S. Again, you can use this for automotive work if you're a DIY car guy like me, or if you are a plumber or need to stick a camera in a tight and potentially hot place. If you like this video and you want to see more product review videos of us using these kinds of tools working on cars in the driveway, all DIY, don't forget to subscribe to Bolts and Banter and consider following us on Instagram at Bolts and Banter for more daily car content. Once again, guys, I am Eric from Bolts and Banter. I'd like to thank you so much for watching this. Again, if you like this, don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you in the next one.